Bears to the bulls, baby. Bulls are the bears. Where's it gonna go, guys?
Welcome to Dragonfly Trading. I hope you like that little blooper. That was my son's wife. My name is Carrie, and I'm a full-time Elliott wave trader in the crypto and forex markets. Today's video is going to be an update on Bitcoin and ETH. Remember, this is not financial advice. This is just the way that I see the market, and I intend to trade it. If you are interested in becoming a full-time trader yourself, our masterclass is complete, and the link for that is in the description below. I got it right this time. All right, so we're on the weekly time frame, and I kind of go over this every video, and this is more for the people that are just tuning in. As you can see in this 2017 bull run, we held a bullish range between way up into the 90s, but when we came down and corrected, we held the 50s. This is the upper bullish range that you see when you're in a bull run. When we broke down and we were in this bear market, what happened is we broke the 50 line, and then we ranged between 50 and below 30. When we had this little run up here, we were able to push up into the 70s, but what happened is we were not able to hold the 50 support, and when we pushed up again, we got rejected into 60s and down she went. Okay, so what does this all mean? Well, what I'm getting at here is on the weekly time frame, we were able to hold 40 support, just like we did over here. This whole time we were correcting, we were holding 40 support. We held 40 support and we bounced off of it. Over here, we held 40 support and we bounced off of it. If we want to correct here and continue and to push higher, what we want to do is hold 50 or the 40 again and then push higher. We don't want to roll over here and break down into the 30. If that happens, we're going to see a correction like this. I mean, maybe it won't be that severe, but what I'm getting at is that we'll probably end up breaking that 28K line and have a deeper correction. Okay, let's move down to the daily real quick here. On the daily time frame, as we sit right now, we have some slight bullish divergence. It's not the type of bullish divergence that I like to see for a total blast off, but it's there. Okay, we've got a straight across line here, and we've got an upward motion here, and that's probably what's giving us this candle to the upside right now. All right, something that I wanted to also show on the weekly is on the Market Liberator cipher, this yellow line here is the VWAP. And as you can see, that when it crosses 0, we get movement to the upside. This is the highest that I've seen it in a long time, since all the way back here in 2016 and 17. It is very high, and it is rolled over. To me, that tells me that we are very close to a correction here. All right, so let's move on down and take a look at what we have going on. Let me move up one time frame. So I've talked about this. Not a lot has changed, guys, since my last video. Pretty much the same counts are intact. I'm going to go over it a little bit here for those of you that are just tuning into my channel. Calling this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is perfectly legitimate. Or saying that we have a 3-wave A, B, C that ended here is perfectly legitimate. We are not going to know what exactly is the right count until we see what happens over here. We could have a 3 here, or we could have a 5. Now, if we push up higher, I'll be leaning more towards a 333 count, but we're going to have to wait and see. I see this move up as a 3 wave. Okay. Does it have another hit to the high up to this 2.236 or maybe even the 2.618? It's possible. It is possible that we could do that. I'm kind of leaning that we won't quite get up to the 2.618, but I'm not going to say that it won't happen. I don't know what just happened there. Something really weird. It's putting lines on my chart. So, but I think having another hit to the high is totally possible. And I'll get into why that might be possible when we look at this right here. All right, so what can happen after this? Well, say we get another hit to the high. When we come down here, which I feel we are, it's all going to depend on how deep we come down, what we're going to call this. Because this is an A or it's a W. This going up is an A of a lower degree or a W. This coming down will be determined on whether it's a B or it's an X by how deep it comes. Now, after that, we can go up in 3 ways and we would call it a Y. Or if we go up in 5, we're going to call it a C. And that's when we'll have the higher degree B or X. Okay. Then we'll either come down in 3 for a Y, or we'll come down in 5 for a C. And like I said in last video, if we're really lucky, maybe we'll just fill this gap and make a higher low, and that will be a very bullish correction, which I'll pan out and I'll show you when I get to the end here. Now, this is one way that this can go down. Okay, this is how we can get higher. Another way, this is really acting weird. Let me take these off another way. Sorry about that. Usually I can just hit the back button and they all just disappear. But it's being weird. So I'll take them off this way. Okay. So say this is the end, or we just get one more hit to the high, and that's the end. What I still see here is a 3-wave move. At that point, we would call this a B or an X. And it would be the partner for this one down here. We just wouldn't get as high. And then at that point, we will come down in 3 waves, and it will be a Y, or we'll come down much deeper in 5 waves, and it'll be a C, and I can't really get it down there as far as I'm trying to project it. I can give you some projections on how deep this can get, like I did in last video. If we're stopping here, meaning that we're not going to go any higher. Okay, I'm going to project it from right at this top, not if we go up to the 2.236, on how deep we can come. The first place we want to look for is the 618, which is sitting at 29,143. That would be really good. Next place is 21,379, and I am on log scale, okay? That's coming in right to this support. And let me move this over just a tad. Maybe my face is in the way. Next support, 17,655, which is coming in right to the top of this support. Next one down is 15,684, which is coming into the bottom of this support, and I really don't want to see us go any lower than that. So basically what would happen here is we'd either get the ABC or the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be a 3-wave up, and then we would come down. This could actually get complex like this, okay? And this would be the 3 waves. I don't know why it's doing that. Or we come down in 5 like this, okay? But still look for these targets. Okay, I'm drawing it deep to show you what it would look like. I don't know what's wrong with my back button at the moment, but I'm having to take them off like this. And I have to say it is a little annoying. Okay, so those are the basic 2 scenarios of the way this can go down. Recap. We get one more hit to the high. Maybe it overshoots it a little bit. Then we're done here. And then we get this leg, this partner leg. Okay? Or we get just a correction and we're able to get up higher. And this whole move here would just turn into a bigger 3-wave move. This is what we want. We want to get up higher so that when we get this partner, it's higher. And then we make this beautiful running flat and we take off to the moon. Or we start making a triangle up here. And I know I'm drawing the ugliest triangle ever, but you get the picture here. Okay? We just go up, come down, go up, come down, and then we go. We contract. All right, so let's go on down and take a look really close at what we got going on. And I'm sorry I got to do it this way, but something's not quite right. And let me get some of that out of the way. So the reason I'm leaning that we're going to get another hit to the high possibly is the way this is coming down. It's coming down corrective to me. This, it looks like we've got a 3-wave move here. We've got a 3-wave move here, 3-wave move here, and this to me looks like possibly a flat correction, okay, which means we're going to still come to the downside. Now, this would be looks like we've got some type of W, X, Y. It's definitely complex. It may not be exactly like that. I think the W is over here. But anyways, this probably has one more hit, and then it looks like we're going to trend down again. So probably this is all one correction. This is a connector. Okay? And then we need this leg to the downside. And here in the immediate term. And, you know, it can definitely do 3 waves up and then 3 waves down. And it's what I'm getting at is I think we're going to trend down correctively, or it's going to reset itself with one more hit to the high, and then we're going to get the down. I can't honestly be for sure what it's doing at the moment, but it's definitely coming down corrective which means it can't just impulse to the downside. It's either got to come up, reset itself to come down, or it's just going to choppity chop, 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 choppity chop, chop all the way down. Okay. All right, let's move on over to ETH. ETH is pretty much the same thing. There's not really much different with ETH here. ETH has basically the same thing going on. We do have bullish divergence on the 8-hour here, which leads me to think that that pop to the upside is very possible. Okay. And this C that I have here just would get a little bit bigger. And it's actually going to hit the 2.236, and it might even get a little FOMO in it and fill this gap. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Okay. I didn't really go over the bullish scenario in Bitcoin, so I'll do it in ETH here because they're pretty much the same. The bullish scenario is that we continue up, we make a correction, we continue up, and we just keep going. If that happens and we just go here, then somehow, some way, this correction ended here, and I'm just not looking at this correctly. There's some count that I'm not seeing. So I'm not leaning that way, guys, but I'm not going to completely say that it can't happen because, you know, there's always a bull and there's always a bear. And the bull would be that we just keep going here. And I've misread this down here. But as I see it now, I see this as a three-wave move that could possibly go higher. And then the same with Bitcoin, depending on how deep we come, will be how it's labeled. Also, how deep we come is whether we can go up in 5 waves or we can go up in 3, but the whole goal is to get up higher so that we can call the B or the X way up here instead of where it's at. Now let me see if I can back this off. Oh, I can on this one. Okay. So the other scenario, just like Bitcoin, is that we don't get the hit to the high, or we get the hit to the high. It's done completely, and our B and our X goes here. And then we get our partner move now. And it really goes to the downside. But if we're lucky, it's very possible that we never break this low. And that's really what we want to see. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If it was confusing or you didn't quite understand, I really didn't say much anything different than I did last video. Because nothing really much has changed. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And I love each and every one of you. Have a wonderful day.